Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
Up in time, Clark for the win!
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine.
Do Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark have something in common? Absolutely. Both players have changed the game with their incredible shooting and fearless play. When Clark takes a long three-pointer, the crowd reacts just like they do for Curry. And now that Clark is about to enter her second season in the WNBA, the comparisons to Curry are growing even more. However, not everyone agrees with the comparison. A prominent analyst argues that the parallels between Clark and Curry don't hold up. Why? Stick around to find out and hear why Curry and other NBA greats are praising Clark.
Caitlin is a fabulous player, the female Steph Curry. They have done a lot for the game.
Shaq, known for his larger-than-life presence on and off the court, has been vocal about his admiration for Clark. His first-hand experience watching her dominate a WNBA game solidified his view of her as a game-changer, much like Curry. Sitting courtside, Shaq witnessed Clark score an impressive 27 points against the Chicago Sky, leaving a lasting impression on the NBA legend. What truly stood out to Shaq wasn't just Clark's ability to score, but her incredible long-range shooting. He couldn't help but draw a parallel to one of the NBA's greatest three-point shooters. In an interview afterwards, Shaq shared his thoughts. Seeing her on TV is one thing, but watching her live, she's got that Steph Curry range. She's making smart plays, getting everyone involved. She's the real deal. Appearing as a guest on a recent episode of Angel Reese's podcast, Unapologetically Angel, Shaq shared his candid thoughts about Caitlin Clark and Steph Curry.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love. You know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, like, if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He look like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before.
Coming from Shaq, a dominant force in NBA history, this kind of praise carries significant weight. When Dallas Mavericks superstar Luka Doncic was asked if he saw similarities between his game and Caitlin Clark's, he instead compared her to Steph Curry.
I watched a little bit, but then I had to do some shooting. But it was amazing. I watched the first half. But she got to go in the second half, so I didn't watch that.
Does she remind you of you at all? I mean, she's kind of got that. She's got a.
I just want Steph Curry, man. It's a woman with Steph Curry.
Okay. Doncic couldn't have been more accurate with his description. Clark is an incredible shooter who can hit long-range shots from almost anywhere on the court. And just like Curry, she can make these shots off a dribble or moving without the ball. But Clark isn't just about making long three-point shots. She's also a great passer, amazing fans and teammates with her ability to see the game. When the Indiana Fever picked Caitlin Clark, they knew she was special. But how do you use a player often called the female Steph Curry? The answer: use some ideas from the Golden State Warriors. The Fever's coaches, led by Christy Sides last season, created plays just for Clark. These plays look a lot like what Curry and the Warriors do. But this isn't about copying Curry. It's about using Clark's unique skills to their fullest. One play is the flex action. Clark sets a screen for a teammate and then gets open for a three-pointer. It looks like what Curry does, but Clark adds her own style. Another play is the get action. Clark makes a quick move, gets the ball, and is ready to score or pass. This move works well for Curry, and now Clark is making it her own. Take a look at this nasty three-pointer.
Did not get as close to their date as Lainey Hamilton has been to Caitlin Clark all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark connects on a deep three.
Imagine being a defender trying to keep up with Clark. She moves through screens, gets open for shots, and creates opportunities for her team. The Fever are making her a constant threat, even when she doesn't have the ball. The WNBA is proving it can be just as exciting and creative as the NBA. With Clark leading the way, we're in for an amazing season of exciting plays and new records. Stephen A. Smith called Clark the Steph Curry of women's basketball, not just for her shooting, but for how she changes the game. He also said she is the best women's college player, showing her incredible talent.
What makes Clark so box office?
She's the Steph Curry of women's college basketball. That's why. She has unlimited range. She's got a handle. She can get to the basket.
Stephen A. Smith couldn't stop praising Caitlin Clark's impact on WNBA viewership. He pointed out that Indiana Fever games now attract more viewers than any other team, largely thanks to Clark's exciting performances. Her stellar play has not only justified the hype, but also helped turn the Fever's season around after a rough 0-5 start. When Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops discussed the Fever's turnaround on her podcast without mentioning Clark's role, Smith wasn't happy. He criticized Swoops for leaving Clark out, saying it added to the idea that some critics are unfairly downplaying Clark's contributions. Smith made it clear that Clark deserves full credit for the Fever's success and the increased attention they're getting. He felt that by not acknowledging her, Swoops was feeding into the unfair criticism Clark has faced. Smith's passionate defense highlighted how crucial Clark has been to the Fever's success and the WNBA's growing popularity. The impact both players have had on their respective sports is perhaps the strongest argument for the comparison. Just as Curry revolutionized the NBA's approach to three-point shooting, Clark has transformed women's basketball. The numbers tell the story. Since Clark's emergence, three-point attempts in women's college basketball have increased by 22% across all divisions. Youth basketball coaches report a surge in young girls practicing long-range shooting, mimicking Clark's style just as a generation of boys emulated Curry. During a recent episode of The 11th Hour with Stephanie Rule, Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr compared Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark to Steph Curry. Having coached Curry through 4 championships, Kerr sees similarities in their journeys. It's a rite of passage for young players in the WNBA or NBA. Others will test you, Kerr said. Caitlin reminds me of Steph. In his early years, Steph wasn't a superstar. He had to get stronger and learn to handle the pressure. That's what Caitlin is going through now. Kerr believes Clark, like Curry, will continue to improve. He praised her for handling the challenges well and adapting to the physical demands of the game. It's all part of competition, Kerr said. She's handling it beautifully. She's an amazing player, but it takes time to adjust to the physicality and athleticism of the pro level. She'll be fine, and this is all part of becoming a pro. While many see Clark as the next Curry, not everyone agrees. A prominent analyst offers a different perspective, suggesting the comparison might be premature.
So if you're a Caitlin Clark fan, you're going to have to coach her from your Twitter feed and allow an authentic conversation about what we're actually seeing. Right now, it ain't Steph Curry. And it may never be Steph Curry. Caitlin Clark at 33, it's a bad shot. Particularly early in the shot clock. There's other things she could and should be doing. So that's my take on Caitlin Clark. She ain't Steph Curry. Got more in common with Kyle Kuzma as a shooter. As a playmaker, he's John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, all of that. Shooter, Kyle Kuzma.
As you'd expect, fans turned on Whitlock for this opinion. Someone wrote, well, she has been called the female Steph Curry by greater minds than Jason. Another said, it's not fair to compare their present status, but comparing the overall performance in their rookie year, I think it's Clark over Curry. I'm a fan of both. Now, let's hear what Steph Curry himself had to say about Clark. When Steph Curry talks about Caitlin Clark, the basketball world listens. Curry said comparing her to him robs her of the rest of her game. He pointed out that while her shooting is amazing, her overall game is just as impressive. Curry praised Clark for her all-around game, including her triple-doubles, and called her games must-see TV. Coming from someone who is known for being exciting to watch, this is a huge compliment. His comments challenge people to look beyond just one skill and appreciate the full game in women's basketball. By highlighting her complete game, Curry is helping change how people view women's basketball. His words encourage fans to see the complexity and skill in the sport. Clark was grateful for Curry's words, knowing how important they are. In a March 2024 interview, Clark said, Steph Curry has always been one of my favorite players to watch. Just how he changed the game, how he's able to shoot it from anywhere. His passing ability, too, is so underrated.
I love Steph Curry. I was never like, I need to make like really long three-pointers. It was just kind of something that evolved in my game and something that I really embraced and the crowd embraced and fans embraced, so.
During the 2024 NCAA tournament, after Curry complimented her game, Clark responded, obviously he's someone who's really changed the game of basketball, and it's really fun to watch him. The more I study his game, I feel like I try to emulate his game in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I think I just got to focus on being myself. Well, Caitlin Clark's just getting started in the WNBA, but the Steph Curry comparisons are already heating up. Sure, not everyone agrees with the comparison, but it's hard to ignore the impact they've both had. Even Curry himself gave gave Clark props, saying she's more than just a shooter. Her whole game is impressive. Clark isn't just following in Curry's footsteps. She's carving out her own path. As she keeps growing and making waves, it's clear she's set to take women's basketball to the next level, just like Curry did for the NBA. Basketball's future looks pretty exciting, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. Now, let's continue the conversation in the comments sections below. Click here to watch what Larry Bird had to say about Caitlin Clark. Thanks for watching.